This was difficult. This rotate was so hard. Everyone ran around the edges. Everyone went towards this kind of left side. So it meant that no one could white line and no one could run straight because it's just no man's land. You've got a literal wall of a firing squad just aimed at you and there's no builds to hide behind. Reverse has done so well to even make it this far, and to make it even worse, now has a complete opposite rotating, and they know he's a solo. They're trying to get onto Reverse now. If he jumps out here, surely someone across the line is going to see him, but maybe they're more focused on their rotate, which Reverse has to do now as well. Only one tick, and
no.
He leaves it so close. He's literally 1 health. Zone is right behind him. It's a 10-tick zone. He's below Storm Surge. If Reverse can pull off anything out of this, it would be monumental effort as he tries to rotate and find his way through the builds. Remember, he does get more placement. That's another point for top 16. Top 15 is another. So as long as he clings on, he's still getting something for this. But man, I can't see him making it through this Surge threshold.
No, look, he's doing it. I mean, every single, moment now that he stays alive is an opportunity to earn points. And this is what you want to do. This is literally the only thing he can do. Great shot there, 132. But he can't stick around to even take the battle. He can't get shot at all here. He gets the siphon. There's no way. Reverse is actually doing something with nothing. And although it may not last very much longer, that was still very impressive. The second Elim for Reverse there.
That's like 4 or 5 points, I believe, in placement, and the 2 for the elimination as we got a cheeky little look into who's on high ground. It's my pick for the day, Degen, Ages, and Skittles. These guys really show up in the set lobbies. That's when they turn up the heat. That's when everything comes to its own, and they've got 8 eliminations on the board already with 30 players still alive, 12 teams. This is looking like an absolutely fantastic start for Degen, Ages, and Skittles, just showing chemistry, finding a team, sticking with them, knowing the ins and outs, knowing how each of you play is so important. Also worth noting, did want to talk about it earlier, this is a high ground team and we don't have many high ground players who made it into the top 33 here, so I think they're going to run a muck up here all day today as Aegis drops down and connects, but he's running out of material, Monster. They're not finding too many angles for eliminations and refreshes right now, and they need to find one soon.
I mean, at this point, with how many they got, it's probably best for the lobby if they don't get any more points because they have so many. Down low, though, Rise Jumper and Threats are first place finished yesterday for the second qualifier. Now we're here. And look like they're doing pretty okay. They have the loot to work with, the HP as well to back it up, but into the boxes they go. Ooh, this should be a big pickup, and it is. It's Coop who is a solo. Nicely done, quickly wrapped up, and this is where the big placement points really start to get given out.
Yeah, we saw the guys break it down in the early of the show. EU this morning, we did not see heal off. This is a change in the meta. It's definitely due to that lower mobility. Players aren't making it to the end game with enough material and enough meds to go for the heal off. They have to use them early as we see Rise Jumper and Threats running through the low ground. They don't have a lot of builds left though. They're all having to cower in one box. This is a sign of a team that's desperate, but they've got the firepower. They have the ability with these players to get some eliminations, and there it is. That's their potential refresh. They are pushing forward on low ground. You've got to compare this to teams like Centered Edgy Commandment, the Claymore, the builds. They don't have the mats, but they have the aim, they have the firepower, they have the desperation, and they are just dropping players down here right now. That's 2 more eliminations, 4 on the board, but they need to find a refresh. They have nothing to work with.
Yeah, they're still going, though. They're not giving up just yet. As Rise finally falls now, it's going to be their 4th elimination. Jumper and Threats are just on the door of getting taken out, but no, the Storm Surge. The Storm itself picks up another one for Threats here, and it keeps them in the game. Up top, though, Skittles and Degen working as a 2-man crew right now. Although a man down, clean things up, and they make it look easy. Ooh. There, but hold up. Sprite's going to go in and go for this fight. So these guys are actually trying to pressure in Booga, Bizzo, and Clicks right now. They're looking for it, and they have control of the high ground, but no, Sprite lets his guard down. He didn't realize Clicks is actually way up top there, and now they dive on down. Gas cans come in. They're throwing everything that they have at Sprite here, and Sprite manages to stay nimble, just light enough to get away, but not for very long, as now the duo comes in with the quick save here. So it's an exchange. It's a 1-for-1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a messy fight. That was messy.
It's chaos. It's builds. The building's literally on fire. They're jumping in. There's pump shotguns. There's SMGs. Like, man, that was absolute pandemonium. But he's got the fully built ramp. They're not going to be able to see him behind it. Oh, it is his wall. You're right. Good call from Monster. He was waiting to edit the wall until he had backup from his teammates. Degen not jumping the gun, and they did get that knock in there. That was smack that goes down. That's massive. They're playing this so phenomenally here today.
Yeah, they're just playing better than everyone else. They're at 7 elims already. We're not even in the end game, and let's not forget they came in as the first place lead already, so they're setting up a monstrous lead here. Niddle's going to get knocked now due to the Storm finishing things off. And look, they're just cleaning up house here.
9 eliminations. DGen has 6 of them. We saw that little fly into the start. I believe that was definitely for DGen. He's still up on the board. He's got to have the most eliminations again. This is insane from this team. As we now see 16 teams alive, 42 players. DGen getting tagged up a little bit. They got, again, worth noting, last game, they got complete opposite zones, opposite half-half and opposite first rotating. They've done that here as well, as Age is now fighting off Dripsy on this rotate. I mean, they're doing it on hard mode, well and truly, and they're doing it in style. That is now 10 eliminations for this team as Dripsy falls. If they make this next rotate, this is just honestly such an insane showing from a team. They're really showing up, and if they make top 3 straight into that finals, they're making a statement here.
Yeah, and look at this. He just comes right in to back up his teammate. They're playing so well, and now they get the free rotate. They've managed to give themselves enough room from the storm line, which was arguably the most pressure that they had so far in the game. And now look at this, all the tags that they need too. This is just perfect play coming out to DGen, Agers, and Skittles here. Skittles actually puts one on the board as well, so they have 10 now and more to work with. And look at this. They actually steal the loot from the opponents as well, forcing them off of there. Skittles picks up Bizzle there, so that is perfectly played. And just, again, phenomenal play now. Without that many high ground teams in play here, Aussie, they have another opportunity to actually fight for height. He has max material.
They could go for it if they want to. It's going to be interesting to see. They've got front side of zone. I don't think they have enough distance to where they might try and go up for it. They are going to keep dropping down, so showing their versatility. I like this. They've shown they're a high ground team, but they're playing this mid game phenomenally. I'm looking for teams in the feed like Nobu Beef, Lupian, and Nick as well, our French-Canadian contingent in second place. We had Jampa's team in third, but I'm not really seeing those names in the feed, which might mean they're going for placement, but if they're not getting active here, this team is running away with the tournament here as Teo shows up big as well, Chimp. So we've got that trio getting big eliminations, but I don't think anyone can match them on Elims right now, and this is 2 insane games in a row as they might find another one. The cone goes in, but nice edit they get out of this one. Miro's team still up though, so they're coming into this one hot too. This is going to be an interesting endgame.
Yeah, Clicks is still here as well. He's going to find one, but Reverse finds Clicks, so it's the trade-off in the feed here. But again, the story here is Agers, DGen, and Skittles. They are lighting up every layer that they want. They're going to find more. They're already at 12 eliminations. There's still 20 players left in the game. Most teams pick up at least 5 or 6 come this tail end right here, right now. So there is so much room for them to continue to break away. On high ground, though, Voil, Snake, and Xcept, they are the securing high ground team at the moment as things are doubling back. But DGen, Agers, and Skittles are just a better layer. They're right up above. Look at Reverse 2K on the low ground, though. This is just all kinds of action everywhere.
Yeah, Reverse dropped down there. I said, oh no, because he got dropped off the builds. He got split from his team, went down into the crypts, as you like to call him, Monster. I don't know whether he's going to survive. He does. He gets elimination down there, so does Agers. They are putting so many on the board. I think I saw Teo's team in there as well as a full trio, and I think they're still up, but who can contest them? It's going to probably come down to DGen, Agers, Skittle versus Voil's team on the high ground because everyone else is falling. We have 3 teams, 8 players. Who is it? So it is Skittles. No, Agers goes down. So it's DGen and Skittles as a duo going up against Chimp and Tabney. I think high ground might have this on lock, but is it enough? They've gotten the points. This is 2 points per elimination, and you're watching them have 9, 3, and 4 eliminations respectively.
16
They're on 100
total already.
112 points in the second game here, Monster, and we still have placement points to go, but this is not the duo. DGen Age has been the duo forever right now. What can DGen and Skittles do? Voil, Xcept, and Snake need to go a little bit more aggressive here, drop down and start applying the pressure. There it is. That's the problem. DGen and Skittles are sandwiched. They're going down. DGen goes down and he falls. Skittles stays up. He's setting up for the heal off. Never mind. If he can somehow pull this off, it won't heal off the win, but I think he's playing heal off for the second place. Gets the med kit off, but he doesn't. I think the medkit's been mistimed. I don't think it's going to go off. If he goes off without popping the floppers, he will be so upset with himself. No. And he does. Skittles goes down. The medkit was mistimed, but an insane performance from them as Snake drops down to close this out. But they're running low, and he gets down. The 10 health is enough. Except Voil and Snake win this one. But is it still the story? Rotating out of that uncontested Steamy. Now they've got their 2 eliminations on the board. They've got their loot on the board. They need to show up big, and it's a newly formed team. So I'm excited to see how they play their end games. A lot of decorated players, a lot of players we've seen do big things, but I want to see how they play their end games together, because that's what these early weeks are really about. It's about finding those top 3, but it's also about seeing how the new teams perform, as Ages has been found out and potentially identified as a solo, as he's getting held really hard here. Can he just get it? He's only got 26 bills. It's all wood, and no, they're only going to get their top 25 points for placement, but there's still 5 points on the board there. Not bad. I think even unless someone can have a huge performance here, they'll still be in first place going into the next game, but still very unfortunate for our first place team. I just want to imagine who got the high ground there as we get this is a pretty fast southern pool too, so this is a chance for teams to kind of jump up and have their big performance as Miro jumps in and he goes down to literally 1 health, has the minis, has the med kit. Is he even going to have time to get them off? He might though. That's 1 mini now, the long 10 seconds on the med kit, but never mind. Let's just get the Siphon, jumps out and finds the easy elimination on a Specs. Had no idea he was behind that wall as, I don't know. Oh, never mind. Miro finds a really nice passage off to the left. This could be doable. They're clinging on here. And again, one more team to go down and they get their second set of placement points, which would be huge.
Can I just say, shout out to Day, who came into the rescue and fended off that full trio. That, when Miro should have been taken out there, but now Tabney's going to find Day on the rotate here on the outer edge, or it's Teo there. He picks that one up. That's a big refresher for the underrated trio of Tabney, Chimp, and Teo there, as now they get to come in with that fresh loot to make a real run for that top spot there. But the longer Miro stays alive, the longer those other top 3 placement teams are lingering about, the tougher it's going to become for everyone else who needs to play catch-up. Let's not forget the fact that Teo, Chimp, and Tabney were in top 5, so the elims that they're picking up, now they find Osp as well in the feed, and Calc there too. Look, it's just starting to add up for these guys up towards the top. Ooh. It's a race for top 3 here. Threat's going to find Durant. This is beautiful for a second place team now. Again, that's their first elimination here, guys. If they wanted to catch up to first place, they're going to need more than that. First place has so much buffer room.
Yeah, we've got to put the pressure on him here. Here it is, Threats. What can you do? We've seen the Threats has some of the most clinical aim in NAEs. He needs to put it down right now, needs to find these eliminations because they're playing catch-up. 78 points. You got to remember, DGen, Ages, and Skittles, who are out of this game, came into it on 112. So that's why we're putting the pressure on them. They need more than just the placements. They need to do more, and that's what these weeks are about. That's what these rounds are about. Top 3 is everything. As you called it, Chimp, Teo, and Tabney. We might have to change up the storyline here, Monster. They're not that as underrated anymore. People are paying attention to this team. They have shown up big in the last 2 seasons as Chimp has 4 eliminations on the board. Teo has 2, and they're pushing forward. They're marching forward on the low ground on a beautiful side of zone. This team is playing the low and mid ground so well, and they drop down onto ultimate low. This is it. This is where we've seen elimination after elimination come from, as everyone funnels down here on low mats, low resources, and you can pick them up. 6 teams, 15 players. How many of them can they get, as our second place team is almost down as well? Teo's team needs to keep pushing. They have a chance at this.
They already pulled a top spot in the last one too, so Jamper is really just holding on here. He finds a player behind the wall. It is a knock. No follow-up. That is onto Tabney. So Teo and Chimp now have to play as a 2-man team here. They've been broken apart, and it's a 3v3v2. So they are a man down and a full team up above with all that pressure coming in. There's not much they can do. The reads are just better on the low ground squads, and now we're looking at a good old-fashioned 3-on-3 here soon. Teo's just barely holding on, and he gets wiped out.
Here it is, the 3-on-3. You love to see it. Low ground versus high ground, but no, so Scripts goes down in this one. Dusky, Spade, and Dom on the high ground. What can they do? Can they close it up? We've seen upsets from the low ground, especially with the pump shotguns back in the game. You can't count it out. And I'm a little bit scared to see how Dusky's team's playing this. They've got their limbs on the board. They have 11 in total. They're going to drop down and apply some pressure. I like the spray from above. I like the fact they're breaking the builds down, but they don't know what Class and Cloudy have on the low ground. They don't know what resources they have, but they know they have the numbers advantage. It is a 3v2. Use that. Find the angles before the stink bows come out. Let's see this. This explains it. They're setting up for the heal off on Dusky. The other players are going to drop down. He has the builds to stay up. What can Dom and Spade do? Can they close this one out, or is it going to come down to Dusky's medkit and flopper? As honestly, Dom and Spade are playing this so slow and clinical. They really don't want to give this one up. They know this victory out is worth so much more, Monster.
Yeah, it means a lot to them right now. And again, Dusky cannot afford to take any damage. You can see he's trying to break all the builds behind him, just making sure there's no opportunity there. But no, Cloudy takes too much damage. He's going to deny. He's going to deny the heal, denies the Siphon in Class, fails the medkit, and no, that should be it. That was the fatal error right there, Aussie. There's not much you can do after that. Even now, it's hard. Here he's going to have to wait it out. Everyone ends up denying the heals to Class as well. They all deny the Siphon, and Dusky walks away with a free victory there because of it.
Well,
Yeah, these guys have really been doing so much work, man. They're putting in so much work, and you're seeing the work ethic pay off. They have to be careful now, though. All that layer changing has now led them to be second height. But on top is a newer trio, so this could actually work out. The fact that we have somewhat of a more inexperienced team in these final stages of ADV, Bryce, and Balance. All these new teams that have had great runs up until this point, now getting to show it all off here on the FNCS stage. This is perfect. This is what the broadcast is all about. Building out these storylines, showcasing these new up-and-coming stars, and ADV is popping off here. He's going to find that right there. He's going to mark out that loot. Do they want it? They kind of need it. They're thinking about it, and yes, the Harpoon is there to pull it all up. This is perfect for them.
And the leaderboard's being brought back ever closer now. These other names are coming up and they're consolidating those points. We talked about how DGen's team was almost like taking all of them at the start, but now everyone's getting their chance. They're all playing for that top 3. We've seen it time and time again, though. High Ground gets the placement. Can you get the eliminations? As Chimp, Teo, and Tabney, full trio down there, still doing so well. And we have Voil's team still in this. Voil's team was still up there. They jump down here and Justice goes down. Tabney is so low. He has Teo here. No way they're going to get a rotating zone revive. I think they will. If they get zoned here, they've pulled it off. These are the teammates you want. This is the chemistry. And the shots are coming in from above. He's not even dropping a beat. He holds it. He sticks it. This is the teammate you want. This is what we all dream to play with. Tabney sticks it. Doesn't take a single bit of damage. Can Teo do something with his second life granted here? As they're pushing forward together, Teo goes down again, but the pressure applied was enough. It was worth it. Tabney, Monster's put you on the spot. You are the fragger of this team. What can you do here?
Yeah, look, he goes for the setup for the med kit here. He does have to be careful, though. He took more damage than he would have liked. Voil jumps in the box near door. No. Tabney doesn't even know he's next door, but he doesn't even care. He's going to go for the heal off, and he will pull it off here. No! Just barely. It's the animation. It makes the difference, but now Balance and Hungry should be able to close this out here. Bryce doesn't have any more builds. He is literally hiding behind a rock right now, literally to stay alive, and it is going to be enough for that high ground team. Yeah, there's so much riding here, and you have to play perfect Fortnite at this point. There is only a game left after this one. This is game number 5, guys. There is no more room for error. It's going to come down to a race in the final game, especially considering we just watched the team go down. DGen finds Elim's there. I don't know if he was actually traded out there, though, Aussie.
No, I think they're all 3 still alive, and I think that was 2 eliminations they got. I think there was 1 to DJ and 1 to Skittles. I'm not 100% sure myself either, but I only saw them on the kind of giving side of that feed. I didn't see them on the receiving, so they're looking fantastic. As Dusky as well, though, picking it up. So that's 5th place, so we've got a lot of teams active right now. I believe every team, except for our 1st place team, is in this, and that's not what you want to hear or see if you're Teo's team. Everyone's jumping up here. So Script goes down to Dusky. That is massive. That is 5th place onto 3rd place. This is what you want to see as a Fortnite fan. Man, it's exciting.
Yeah, and Cloudy's the one on the winning side of that one. So 3rd place is on top here. 5th gets a little bit more pressure put onto their shoulders, and that's how the things are going to just crumble. That's how it's going to play out here on high ground. Durant, Nani, and Trap, they were the ones on the edge there, just next to Teo and company before they got taken out. They beat the punch, right? They beat everyone to the punch here on the rotate, and now they get to claim high ground, and they do it with a ton of material. This lobby, or this entire roster of players has been so passive to the high ground play. We haven't seen a single team actually battle for height. We've noticed that every team that has had the bullish enough attitude to take high ground has kept it. Virtually for free, no one's contested them.
And this team's interesting. They haven't been playing poorly today. Their points put them in 13th, but they've got an 8th, a 10th, a 9th, and a 16th place. So they're making these end games consistently, making rotating zones, but not putting it together. That's huge. DGen Skittles go down in the feed. We see threats in the feed as well. So a lot of these teams are getting so active. This is going to be very, very close here. But can Nani Duran a trap, win it from the high ground, and is it going to be enough? As Niddle's in the feed, Threats is in the feed, everything's breaking down. We have Storm down. This is Fortnite at its best. Class goes down as well, Monster. I don't know who's going to run away from it. We don't know. We can't see. This is going to be so tense. Just look at them all. There are so many full trios in the top 6 right now who are making this rotate.
Yeah, and we've watched pieces of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all get taken out, but not the full team, so there are still points to be made here as Oss finds another one. Joji and Oss are turning on the gas pedal here. That's onto Smack, pretty big for them. And again, they're not completely out of the race just yet. This game, including the next one, are massive for the story here of who's going to be able to walk away with this whole thing. Gabe's still in this run as well, trying to just make a little bit of his presence continue to be heard and known here. As again, Osman crew just looking for anything on the low ground. They're out of material here. Oss doesn't have anything to work with.
They don't have much to work with now. They need to find something here for elimination loss. There it is on the back of Tab. That's where you want to find it too. As the script is still in this. So with Suscript, our third place team is still going ahead with this, as this might be a big refresh. They got to hope they get some mats off it. Oh, it's Siphon mats. That's not what they wanted to see from Niddle there. That's why Niddle is in the back of the top. He was running at shambles. The Snake is still in this too. That's your 6th place team. Everyone has this. What can Oz do? He has 4 of their 5 eliminations, and they're just dropping players on the mid ground. They don't even have the mats or the builds to claim low right now, Monster. He has to give up that legendary pump shotgun because he's only 3 ticks from Storm. Can they drop someone down? Can they find whoever is the healthy player with the material? Because they need it. Cloudy's still in this. A top 5 isn't going to be good enough. This team needs a win here. We have 2 games to go as we finally see someone fighting for height, and they're instantly pushed back down.
Yeah, Threats is still in this game as well. He's on that outskirt there. Keep an eye on him. He is stealing away points right now. The longer he is up, the more volatile those top spots become. But look, they're just popping off here. 3 elims, 4 elims now for Calculator. When we came into this, he only had 2. So he's already picking up some big points here. And they're continuing to do just that. But only a tick is left on off HP. He cannot afford to play with the zone, but his team's got his back here. Calc is on fire. He's already at 5 elims now. He is still going.
No.
The med can play here. That's a mistake, though. That can't finish. We've seen enough fails today. Don't you dare do it. Don't do it. Just don't.
Come on, Oz. I've been talking about how old I am. My eyes deceive me, but mate, you weren't even halfway through getting that med kit off, but I respect it. He's got 1 tick, but Nani's got 5 floppers on the high ground. Surely, if this comes to a heal off, Nani gets this, but no, he gets pushed down. That stink. The zoning was perfect. He gets the floppers off. He has time, but this is it. Durant is down. Trap gets elimination, though. We have Calc taking the high ground. Calc, Osp, and Joji, especially Calc, this endgame, have turned it up here. 108. The big shot. This is your competitive veteran. This is your first ever trio FNCS winner. Bringing it back seasons later. Calc is back to play.
Qualify yourself, right? Qualify yourself to those semis. But now, let's take a look. Day gets beat out by Sully and crew here. It's up to Mirror in reverse right now. They have so many elims. Oh my gosh. Talk about coming back here and making a statement. 8 eliminations already. 65 players alive? They are on fire here, Aussie.
No, Ronaldo takes down Chimp. He is out. It is a duo now holding on to their top 3. As I talked about, Day in the boxes though, but he gets too aggressive. He jumps forward and no, Day gets picked up. But can Miro in reverse try to get him back and get the revive? There it is. Day's got to cool it. He's got to calm down. And no, Miro falls. As a result, he can't hold off the whole trio. I have to think potentially reverse is going to follow, or he's going to have to run. And that's it, the Cinderella story. But you know we're going to see them in the future weeks. That's one consolation. That's a team I'm excited to watch. I'm sure we're going to see them in round 4, but that's it. Qualifier 1, Reverse's team is out. Would be insane. I think they've gone from about 50 points. No, Oz goes down though. Oz falls in the process. Squish is down there. Can Joji and Calc do it from the high ground as a duo? I mean, NA East always bringing the action.
We asked for teams to fight for height. We finally saw it. Calc's got a little taste of that win in the last game, and now he wants to play for it again here. And oh man, losing a teammate though, this really does rise the pressure of this situation here, but it doesn't get them out of this situation just yet. They're in the conversation right now to take this all home. They can still do this. There's not a lot of teams that are willing to contest them unless this low ground team is really feeling it right now, because they know that they are down a member and they're thinking about it. Look, they're lurking around those layers, but Calc is quick with his edits here. He is looking sharper than ever.
See, that's the worst part as well. When you know it's a duo above you, now they know that the Osp is down because they took him down. It wasn't another team that's contesting height and thinking it might be a trio. Calc's got to go down and fight his way back. The Cinderella run is still alive. Can Calc do it? Like I said, this was your original trio FNCS champion doing it now. Years and seasons later, Joji, the new young gun as well, trying to do something, and they do. They find one on the backside of this. They're going to keep pushing forward. As also, Skittles is getting eliminations in the feed though, so Skittles' team is pushing ahead. They're surging ahead. Can Calc match the pace? Because they're going to have to. And what a rotate it's going to have to be is no. Calc has a player in the box, and Joji gets stuck shakedown. He can't cancel it. He's on the backside, but I don't think he's going to make him. I mean, he's swimming. Oh my gosh. He might be in it. He's got double legendary assault rifle, a purple pump. Calc's going to go down, and zone goes back. They get a bit of relief on the zone. He's not going to get the revive, but he might get the materials that he needs to hold on here. I mean, surely not, Monster.
Listen, that was the luckiest thing ever because the shakedown happened, but the animation was canceled because someone thirsted the body in his hands. So it actually worked out. Josie managed to stay alive, but not alive long enough as he gets taken out. And there it is. His run is over. Not enough points. Skittles, on the other hand, at 165 is still going here. He is still in this conversation here. Teo is still alive. Teo is in front. Tabney gets taken out. So our second place, third place team are still here.
I mean, everyone's got a chance. There's Jamper, Threats, and Rise. That's our fourth place team. This is an absolute battle for top 3. Aegis takes down Tabney. That is second onto third. This is massive. Can Threats team jump up? Can DGen's team hold on? Is Cloudy's points team enough? Is Teo's team going to be enough? Teo takes down DGen. They're trading backwards and forwards. These are our top 4 teams right now, and they are going toe-to-toe in the final breast. Whoever gets top 3 is sitting pretty, sitting back for finals. Rise looks healthy right now. Can the high ground team apply enough pressure? But Threats, Jamper, and Rise as a full trio. Teo is still going here. Teo might be able to bring this back. Our underrated stars, surely after today, will not be underrated anymore as Jamper takes down Ocus. This is going to be so incredibly close, Monster.
Teo has pulled so many placement points by himself. I think he has pulled off the ball here. He is still in the game. He still has max HP. He is in between 3 full trios on the low ground. He is on the outskirts here. Threats, Jamper, and Rise need to stop him if they want this spot from him. They quite literally need to take it away from a solo, but he is still here. Oliver on Dom. All the other trios are fighting each other. Teo might get more placement points here, and it could be too late. Too late for these other teams to come back. Threats, Jamper, Rise do not have enough eliminations right now. They need more. Aussie, they have to get absolutely active right here.
They need to, but Justice's team came into this on 8th on 108 points. I don't know if they can maybe do something above that. Teo is still going right now on the low ground. Keep your eyes on the top right. I know he's not a full team, but this man is playing his heart out right now. He's doing everything he can, and no, they find him. It is a good old trio v trio. Threats team was in 4th coming into this. I think they secured a top 3, but Justice's team above the Monster came in on 8th. We haven't seen how many points they have. Justice's team could maybe have got enough eliminations to see themselves in top 3 as well. This fight matters so much right now. Dictates on the high ground. Does he have the heal off? Please, NAE, I cannot see another fumbled med kit. If any of you are going for it, you need to secure this right now. This isn't just your usual qualifying weeks, not your usual round 4. This is final spots secured. Hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. Who's going to make it happen, Monster?
Here it is. Here it is. They go for it. The low ground peek, and up he comes. Threats finds 1, but he needs more. He has to win this game. They have to win this game if they want this spot, and it's 1 elim away, 1 placement point away. Threats is down, and now it's all up to Rise here. Can Rise conclude it? Was it a canceled medkit? And it is not going to be enough. Dictate actually wins the exchange there for a 9 elimination victory royale.
Wow, blowing my mind right now. Jamper, Threats, and Rise. We haven't talked much about them today. They've snuck in to that 3rd position. Fantastic from them. I mean, they made it by 6 points. Small margins here, and obviously Teo, Chimp, and Tabney as well. We've talked about them a lot today. That insane revival clutch we saw, and Tab just working. I mean, you highlighted some of the great play from them today as well.